Hola Español 3. Voy a repasar rápidamente lo que ustedes tienen que hacer. Hoy en la clase, yo creo que señora Aragón está ayudando. So lucky you have someone that can help you with the Spanish. I think at this point you guys should have probably prayed, and then Mackenzie should have Guillermo now. Ashley, you'll present on Monday when I return on your special time with Guillermo. Um, Theoretically, you guys have already read page 91, points 1, 2, and 3 about expressing emotions. And you are watching this video now. If you haven't read through those three things at the top of page 91, pause now and go do that. Did you pause? I hope you did already pause. Okay, cool. So here's what we're going to do. Everybody, open up your subjunctive note. And on that subjunctive note, oh my gosh, my iPad is slow. On that subjunctive note, let me move my face over to here. Okay. On that subjunctive note, just quick refresher. The thing that we've been adding to this note all year has been different ways to recognize what's happening in the main clause and how that would always invariably point to what happens in the dependent clause. And so we memorized different things that will make alarms go off in our brains so that we know that subjunctive is coming. First of all, our magic keyword that makes us know that the subjunctive coming is this word que. And if there's a K, we look before, and if we see that before the K we've got a deseo, then we know, okay, after the K is going to be the subjunctive. If before the K is a expresión impersonal, or be mind if I pee pee, then you know that after the K you've got the subjunctive. If there is a duda, you know that after the K comes the subjunctive. If there is a ASMRP doctor, then you know also there after the K is the subjunctive, right? What we are doing today is we are adding another layer, and I'm just going to give you the acronym. If you don't like it, you can work on your own. But if you've already read the page, page 91, I think this is how I like to phrase it. I want you to imagine my big beefy arm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's my big beefy arm, right? And on my shoulder, I got a new tattoo. So let's zoom in and draw this tattoo. It's a that's a goose on my shoulder. But guess what? It's not just one tattoo of a goose on my shoulder. I got 2 tattoos of a goose on my shoulder. Okay, so I'm not the greatest artist. You don't have to hate on me. But now that I've drawn my geese tat, you can tell me how you feel about it. See what I did there? So our acronym that we are going to use for the Emociones is the acronym GEESTAT. G-E-E-S-E-T-A-T. The G is gustar. The E is estar contento. The other E is estar triste. The S is sorprender. The other E is es una lástima. The T is temer, with an M, not an N. Temer. The A is alegrarse de. And by the way, say, this is, it's a reflexive verb. That's why the se is tagged on at the end. So when you conjugate this, you're going to have to throw the se onto the front. Alegrarse de. And the last one is tener miedo de. Now, each of these are emotions, and since they are emotions, what this means is that they're subjective opinions or subjective feelings about a circumstance. And since they are subjective feelings or subjective circumstances about a feeling, it means that what comes after the K, even though it's a fact of reality, you're talking more about your feelings about the thing And so you have to use the subjunctive. You can't use the indicative in the dependent clause when talking about emotions. And so that K happens and the beep, 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 or happens in your brain. And afterwards, you got to do the subjunctive, which means you go do the yo form, which with a few exceptions, all end in an O. And what do you do to that O? You drop it like it's hot. And then if it's an AR verb, it moves to become like a, s, etc. And if it's an ER or IR, we're beating a dead horse at this point. Hopefully you already understand this. ER, IR, it's as, amos, an, etc. Okay, so there's that. So how does this work in a sentence? For example, if I wanted to say, let's talk about my geese tattoo, my tatuaje de gansos. Then let's say that you are, you're very happy about my geese tattoo. And so you say, estoy contento que tengas un geese tat. Notice that you have to use tengas because we have to use the subjunctive. Tener, tengo, drop the O like it's hot, and flip-flop, so you got tengas. Estoy contento que tengas un geese tat. What if you don't like the fact that I have a geese tat? In fact, you're afraid that I have a geese tat. Temo que tengas un geese tat. So, oops, I forgot the 30, geese tat. So, it's essentially the same thing we've been doing all semester. We're just adding to our list. And so if before the K is a feeling or a subjective experience, then obviously you are going to be using the subjunctive after the K. And here's how we're going to get you to practice this. Here in the lesson plans, which I have posted to Canvas as well, I want you to open up your books. You're already on page 91. I want you to do activity A and activity B. On activity A, you'll notice that they already give you the emotion that you're supposed to have. So basically, you're just taking those sentences, tacking the emotion on in the main clause, and then taking the verb that's in the dependent clause and changing it to the subjunctive. Wow, verbally, that probably sounds like a lot. So let me just, we'll do number 1 together just so you can see. So the answer before the K is me sorprende. This is what you see, right? Sorprende. That's going to be the main clause. That's what they put in the parentheses. Me sorprende, and you need that magic word in the middle. Me sorprende que, and then afterwards we got Paco viene con nosotros. Now, Paco, let me zoom so that I can, Paco viene con nosotros. Now, you might be like, Claudia, before you correct me, you might have already noticed that viene, this is an indicative verb. And so viene should actually be the subjunctive because we saw the K, it goes beep, 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 beep in our brain. And so me sorprende begs the subjunctive. And so we know that viene has to change to the subjunctive form of venir. And so we got to go, the yo form of venir is vengo. What do you do to the O? Drop it like it's hot. And venir is an ER, or venir is an IR verb, and so it becomes venga. Me sorprende que Paco venga con nosotros. This is number 1 of activity A, or historieta A in page 91. And then actividad B in page 91. There are just 7 different statements, and you just have to say how you feel about them. So like number 1, la economía está mucho mejor. I think that's a lie. But you can just say how you feel. Me alegro de que la economía, and then the verb there is está, so we got to change that to the subjunctive. Esté mejor. If you're wondering how we formed esté, that's one of the irregulars. Go back to page 39, I think, and you have the list of irregulars. Estar, dar, saber, ser, and ir. Okay, so that is your geese tat work. And then after that, I want you to then spend some time responding to 4 situations that I created using Emociones also. So any of the geese tat sentence starters, I want you to respond to Mr. Seals tiene gas, Mateo no se baña, el presidente es muy viejo, and vamos a escuchar la canción A Dios le pido 3 veces. So we're going to listen to A Dios le pido 3 times. Which that is kind of a spoiler because that is actually what we're going to do. So after that, whoever is airplaying this, if you don't mind killing your battery, please also airplay this video. There's a video link, and if video link is being, I don't know, iffy, then you could use the YouTube link. It's just the lyrics video for Adios Le Pido. I want you to sing along with the song. Hopefully you've been listening to it at home as well. Sing along with the song, and then afterwards, I'm going to have you guys take the thing we did last time in class, which is you wrote 5 different Adios Le Pidos. And I'm going to have you start working on a rough draft of your own version of the song in which you create your own version of Adios Le Pido. Now, verse 1 and verse 2 is almost completely done with those 5 that you did last night. So the main thing that you're going to have to do is work on the bridge and the chorus. If you're like, how do I imitate that? It's not like set up like the subjunctive. Well, fortunately, in the module called Canciones, there is a Adios Le Pido brainstorm sheet with a key. And what that brainstorm sheet looks like is it has the lyrics to the song in one column. And on the other half, it basically breaks down the grammar. So we've got a K and a subjunctive request, K and a subjunctive request, K and a subjunctive request. That's what you did last night. And then this is my best attempt at breaking down what is going on in each of the bridges in the chorus. And so just do your best, work with partners if it helps you to understand it, and then come up with your own version of what you would like to say in the bridge and the chorus. After doing the classwork on Emociones, you have the rest of the period to start working on your rough draft of Adios Le Pido. All right. Hope you have fun en español. Adiós, amigos.